Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodesh. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodesh. All right. Call halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodesh. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Salutations to those out there who are pushing out this truth and sincerity across the four winds. As you see in the article, and fulfilling prophecy in biblical in the scriptures, which is in the Daily Mail News. This was sent out by the priest Ahwam Mayim, a shalom to the Akim of the Shepherd of Berea camp. We are at the end time. So this article says now Biden calls for a summit with Putin. What they don't understand is that Putin is programmed by the Lord. He is the Lord's Terminator. And he is programmed to destroy. What you're seeing is someone looking at someone so focused make moves that they're scared. Because this person is so, they're not here. Putin is sending ships, all right, all through Crimea. They're performing military drills, and he's not stopping. And it's scaring them because they're like, we're not getting through to him. And that's because the Most High programmed his mind. Now, I'm going to get a few scriptures because the Lord did it. And the prophet's been prophesying about it, but the Lord did it, okay, because he was predestinated to do that. So let me do that. Let me get the scripture first in Ephesians. And without further ado, we'll go through the article, which, I'm going to go through Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, because that's the prophecy concerning what you know today as Russia. This is Ephesians chapter 1, verse, let me get straight to this point. Okay, 11. In whom also we have attained the inheritance, being predestinated. All right, now this is referring to the elect. Those who will come inside this truth, call on the name of Yahweh Shai, and move in such a manner as Yahweh Shai moved. All right. Being predestinated because they were designed, meaning that you were in the world playing basketball, doing different things, but your course of your life led you into this truth and this knowledge. Right? Being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. Now, everybody was predestinated according to the counsel of his own will. And let's think about Putin. Let's think about Russia. It's funny because everywhere in the world, people say, I'm going to Europe. Whether to see the Colosseums, Italy to shop, France to try to see art and taste wine and look at the Eiffel Tower, South America to enjoy the trees, Greece, Drake got the song, Rick Ross got a song about Greece, enjoy the island, the views. But I never hear anybody say they're going to Russia. I never heard it. I never heard it. And Russia is like a programming hub. It's negative 50 degrees. It's designed to just make you fucking hard. Just designed to make you hard. And that's just what it was. It was an innate nature for him to just become cold. Because who's going to be cold enough to shoot these missiles off in the world? Just bomb like anywhere. Not, even though this is two individuals, Biden and them, he's seeing more than that. He's seeing a world without care. And that's what the Lord is showing him. The Lord sat him down, all right? and showed him the Soviet Union and showed him what they lost. And he said, see, this is why it is like this. It's because America have took this away from you. And he showed them movies like Creed. See, America, they have beat the greatest boxer that was Russian. Like it's just so many things coming to his mind. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm gonna get the scripture. The Most High put an evil thought in his mind. He's showing everybody in America on the Instagram, having fun, tasting the best foods. Meanwhile, it's damn nothing growing out there in Russia. Negative 50 degrees. Only shit that's out there is uranium rich, just metal. Metal and uranium. Right? When you think about that land, it is not a beautiful. I've never been there. I'm not going to take away from the Most High's creation, but what I'm saying is where people vacate at. It's a cold land. It's a cold land out there. So, and that's where he's from. That's where he's from. So, aside from him sitting down and watch the U.S. rule all over, dictate policy all over the world, take away, from other countries, right? He's also seen the people live carelessly in these lands. The citizens talking about. And you know why? Because the Lord showed it to him. Let's get it. Ezekiel 38:10. Thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So what things is coming into his mind? All right. Well, let's see. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. Now, when you look into the word rest, it really talks about a paradise. Okay? It really talks about a paradise, to be quiet, to be tranquil, to be at peace, undisturbed, because it says in the scripture, they labor to enter into a rest, which is like a paradise, a kingdom. And that's what it is here. In America, people seem undisturbed, not bothered. They're never bothered about famines. They're never bothered about, things that are happening across the world. It's like nothing ever touches here. The most that ever touched here was, the vid. And even within that, it hasn't really bothered them as much. It's like, all right, they're gonna get their shot and keep it pushing and enjoy the life. So, not only is Putin seeing this, but every it's kind of like Bane. The closest about, if you've seen the movie with Batman. He just grew up in that darkness, and that's what it is. Like when I think of Russia, I think of a cold, dark, negative 50 degrees. The kids go to school there, negative 30 degrees. I mean, it's true. They go to school negative 30 degrees. The sun don't shine like that many hours, because it's on a different part of the world. So it's like, man, it's like they grow up like hard. I watched one video where a girl, she was beating a tree. They rustled them bears. They walking down a block. They probably scuffling. I'm exaggerating about what I'm about to say. Just walking down a block. And scuffling with a bear for scraps of food. But Russia is cold, man, and it's tough. So the Lord got that, and they're sitting here, and they could see on the Instagram and all of this. And could you imagine like the things that they say in their head, like, oh, it's just fucking, they scoff at it, because it says, you put an evil thought. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell in safety, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. All right, and that's talking about here, because really, this place is open. I mean, look how much people were able to come inside of the society. Who knows who's who? You guys talk about, the keyword terrorists. You guys don't know who's here from all of these different nations. Meanwhile, you're raping and robbing these other nations, but you got people here. It's like, It's unwalled. Anybody could come in. It says to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate place that are now inhabited, upon the people that are gathered out of the nations. Now, where are people gathered out of the nations? Here, Babylon. That's actually the word Babylon. In America, it has everyone that is from different nationalities. So it keys in when you put it together. It's talking about here, which have gotten cattle and goods. All right, you read about this in Revelations, the 18th chapter. How did they get in cattle and goods? Through their merchants. That's why the blockage in the Suez Canal was so big, because everything is about the boats entering and bringing in goods. It says that dwell in the midst of the land. Now, who is this talking about with the evil thought? Let's jump back to Ezekiel 38 and 1. And I'm working backwards a little bit, but bear with me. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me. Came unto who? Ezekiel, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech, Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now, once again, when you're looking at the map, all right, Russia is in that area where the land of Magog is. All right, it's in those northern parts up there. All right, and that's where they inhabit. They inhabit that area. Now, one of the main key things about that evil thought being put into their mind was after World War II, the Soviet Union. Do you know how hurt you would feel if, you lost rulership of parts of the land that's yours? That's what the big thing about Taiwan and China is about too. If you ever Taiwan and China is about, North Korea, South Korea is about. They're fighting for inheritance of their lands. They believe that that's theirs. China believes Taiwan is their land. North Korea believes South Korea is part of their land, in which, they did rule. And they're gonna fight for that. These are things that these nations are gonna fight for. So one thing that I'm to bring it back about when you go into the Soviet Union, the evil thought is the Lord. The angels been taught. The angels been putting that in their mind. That is your land. You deserve that land. That land was yours. You ran that land. You can't let them take that away from you. Look at what you have been banned to. Caves of cold, negative 50 degrees. Nothing grows here. Everyone's starving. And that's literally, they lost parts of their land when you look at the Soviet Union. All right. It says, and I will turn thee back. Verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Now, the Most High is against them. All right. So what the Lord is going to do is the Lord is programming them. Right. Because check this out. And I will turn thee back. All right. Now, if somebody's turning you back, they're forcing you to go in another route that you're going. All right. They were just going to suffer that L. They were just going to leave that. When you think of Russia, probably the only history you go over there and find is about the Soviet Union, Nikola Tesla, and some crazy ass scientists probably over there. I don't know what else is there, but for the most part, unless you go back to the Dark Ages, you'll find more history about it. But for the most part, what's there? Right? It says, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen. So who's doing that? The Most High is doing it, the Lord. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So when they're seeing them at Crimea, when Putin is seeing them, he can tell that someone that he's programmed, because he don't know how to go about it. It's because he's giving him warnings. Then he's like, oh, I could do things worse. You're kind of like nervous. You're like, you seeing someone they're not totally just spazzing out, but they're just doing things. You're like, whoa, but you see the glow in their eyes that they're programmed. They're not hearing you. it's not that they're hearing you and saying, shut up. They're not hearing you at all. And so you got to act up like, to try to get their attention, but they're not bothered. They're not bothered. And see, this is what's scary. So President Biden warned Vladimir Putin it was time to de-escalate in the Ukraine. He's like, hey, buddy, I think it's time to de-escalate. Like, there's no time of de-escalating. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you an hour worth of ranting. No, this guy, you know what I mean? Like, he's programmed. He can tell. He said U.S. sanctions could have been much worse. I was clear with President Putin. We could have gone further, but I chose not to do so. That's when you like, I could go there with you. It says Biden canceled the deployment of 2 U.S. warships from the Black Sea amid the troop buildup in Ukraine. That's because they would have actually fired off at them. They would have probably blew a damn hole through those warships. And then guess what? Biden's not prepared for that. He's not prepared for that. America be trying to have fun. That's what America be trying to do. They pick on them, the Middle East and situations that they know they can handle. But they don't go up under something that they know is going to be a big challenge. All right. They only go up on the shit that they got the upper hand on. All right. And he said, I would have sent warship. Come on, bro. You know what that sound like? That sound like that you're not really with the smoke. And they ain't. And they ain't. Because they know they've been sitting there training hard all day with the coronavirus. You don't hear about nobody about a vaccine or nothing. Them niggas, they've been running through the vid and all of that. They just been eating it, spitting. Hey man, they got a different spirit over there. They probably don't wear face masks. they just, yo. I'm joking with certain things, but in all seriousness, man, you know that Russians, they cold, man. They cold. The movie Creed show you that. It says Biden canceled the deployment of 2 U.S. warships from the Black Sea amid the troop buildup in Ukraine. Washington announces the U-turn after the Kremlin warned D.C. to stay away from their good, right? So they're like, yo, y'all better stay out here for good. It says, we have no desire to be in an escalating war with Russia. But here's the point of why I'm going into the Lord programmed them. Because the Most High is giving them, it doesn't matter that you don't have an intention, but they got an intention to slap you in the face. And if somebody have that intention to slap you in the face, you can say all you want, like, I really don't want no problems. But at the end of the day, guess what? They're going to slap you in the face. All right. And that's what the Most High put in their mind. Because all they think about is Soviet Union and the they just think about all the stuff they lost all day long. The Most High got, yeah, you lost this. Imagine that, every time you look at something, you like, it's probably just Soviet flags everywhere, giving him dreams. You know what I'm saying? And he can't do anything about it. All right. It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So this is what the Lord is doing. That's why you see them over there advancing the Crimea. It's not Russia. Putin he's programmed. The Lord is causing them to bring them forth. It just, I just read it. All right. And the way they're behaving and moving is just like, it's untimely to the U.S. It's like, yo, we're dealing with this, we're still dealing with this stuff, quote unquote. We're trying to bring out the chip with it and everything. Dude, what are you doing? But, they're like, most like kill, seek, destroy, terminate America. He going in. And guess what? Guess what's also coming to their mind? Persia. They was been bombing on Iran and Persia through Solomon. They've been wilding out over there on them dudes. So, that's coming to Russia's mind. Ethiopia, you probably see situations with Ethiopia where they did them dirty. Libya, he probably thinking about Omar Gaddafi, Bashar al-Assad. It says with them, all of them with shield and helmet. All right, so these are the other nations that's going to be there on the side of Russia. All right, according to the scriptures, the prophecy. All right, so let me look at something real quick. And I'll go back. Land, Russia versus Soviet Union map. Let's look at that. So right now they're in the Black Sea, right? This is the area. So just a clear view. So the reason why they're there is because they believe that, guess what? These were parts of the Soviet Union that we once ruled. Like, is rightfully so mines. All right. Let's look at this before and after the Soviet Union map. I just want to kind of get like a more clear understanding or look at on the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union full name was the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or USSR, was a socialist state that was created by Vladimir Lenin in 1922. During its existence, the USSR was the largest country in the world. So here you go. You go from having a history of being known as the largest country in the world. The USSR collapsed in 1991 and left in its place 15 independent states that we know today. So Ukraine, this is where they're at, right? So Russia, going back to its old ways, is trying to gather all of these 15 independent states to be underneath their rulership once again, as it once was. You know, because if they were all together at one time underneath the USSR and now they're separate, well, then you know that that's what they want. Okay, when the Most High is putting their, turning them back to their old ways, and that's why they're advancing in that area. Why else would they be advancing in the Black Sea? Well, when just looking at it, do some further research. But when you look at the Black Sea, if you control that, if you got warships over there, then you pretty much are taking over Ukraine and all of these different parts of which was once part of the USSR. You know, the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, all right, the Caspian Sea. You know, more or less, you're defending and you're conquering those lands within the area. So it's a very strategic thing that they're doing, but that's the Most High putting that spirit on them. Now, watch 441. That number pops up a lot through the spirit. Let's look at this. After Nazi Germany video, here's the Soviet Union one. See the evolution of the Soviet Union from Lenin's rule to Gorbachev's one. Soviet satellites. Slovakia.
Get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Install the Chime app today and get started.
You'd be shocked if you knew what Google, Facebook, and the other tech companies know about you.
Look at this, man. This video shows the evolution of the Soviet Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics, also known as the USSR, from its foundation in December 1922 until its collapsing in December 1922. It includes the different socialist republics and the Soviet satellites. As you're watching it, if you're looking up at the top, the months is going by. So let's see what maybe the land starts expanding after a certain amount of time. Just wait and see. Yeah, the land is starting to expand. More red Okay, and then they're losing certain parts. So Putin probably sits here. Most High probably plays this through his head all day, man. I mean, so let's look at. Wow. And just to think they've been doing this. So like, just to think they've been doing this for one. Anyway, just to think they've been doing this like since 1922, bro. Like this has been a mind. This has been in a mind. Like this, expand. Oh man, defend, expand, defend, expand. Oh, we lost. Recover what's lost. Like nonstop. It wasn't like, what, we're gonna settle here, we're gonna chill out and just not like, look at this video. So the red part is the Soviet satellite. The light red. Okay, this is a new leader, Georgy Malenkov. Now this is Nikita Khrushchev. I'm saying the names right. See why Jake probably played ball. US, they probably know all their leaders. Yeah, the leader Nikita, yes, he took over this. We must study how he did this. Let's skip this forward a little bit. Wow. So, as I skipped it forward, everybody's declaring independence. So we were starting to see in the year of 1991, pretty much what I read, we're looking at the fall of it, the Soviet Union, and everybody started to declare its independence. All right, 1989, they were still solid. They lost stuff. 1990, they lost. And now, 1991, there you go. It said Georgia declared its independence. Estonia declares independence. Latvia declares independence. See? And so remember, once again, if you can remember over here where you see this, the countries declaring their independence near the water down there, that's where they're at. That's where they're at. That's where they're the Black Sea. This is actually where the warships is at. So look how much Ukraine becomes independent. And that probably really hurt. Because that's where they're at right now. Damn. That's crazy, bro. Like how, yo, I see why they are hurt. Damn. Dude, yo, it was just Big Red, man. Hold on, man. It was just Big Red, squad, gang. He's there, man. Shit, man. So Russia succeeds from USSR. Damn, they declare independence. So now the Most High is putting them back in their mind, man, to start reuniting and actually becoming that terrible nation. All right, designed to program you story. Okay, Babylon the Great. All right, so this is where the scriptures go into it shall defile the beauty of the brightness of thy beauty. But before I even go into defiling the beauty of thy brightness, you know what? Since I'm there in Ezekiel, I'll get it. This is Ezekiel 28:7. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee. Now, remember, once again, the Lord is doing all of this. He's programming them. All right. And he's bringing the strangers upon who? Now, this part that he's bringing is he bringing those the terrible nations of Russia, right? Against who? The ones who are wiser than Daniel, the ones who is looking beautiful right now, which is America. Okay. So it says, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the depths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. And it's funny that they are right there in the middle of the seas right now. But this is what's written to come upon this society. All right, and this is why they're over there. Putin made that statement that we don't want to get in an escalating war with Russia, but this is not up to you. The Most High already written it to happen. I'm quoting exactly what he said. We have no desire to be in an escalating war with Russia. Putin didn't say that. Biden didn't say that. I didn't mean to say Putin. I meant Biden, but Biden didn't say that. A senior administration official said. Hours later, Putin took advantage of Biden's U-turn back by closing off the Kerch Strait. The move blocks any access to foreign warships to Crimea until October 21st. So 2021. So excuse me. So once Biden got up out of there, Putin closed it completely off. He said, "I'm gonna make sure you won't come back in this area at all." And it says the move blocks any access to foreign warships to Crimea until October 21st, 2021. Slovakia. The Biden administration on Thursday announced sweeping new sanctions on Russian interference. Sanctions were imposed on 8 individuals. Now, let's get on the sanctions. What's happening with the sanctions? Remember, everything's allegedly supposed to be purchased through the petrodollar, and if you're selling oil is used through the petrodollar, and if you violate, we're able to freeze your accounts because everything is done through, I believe, is the Swift banks. I could be wrong, but there's a main bank, the IMF, I believe, and which all the nations use this bank account, and pretty much America has the kill switch button to shut down anybody accounts, and then, so to speak, they'll put your account on freeze. All right, whatever money you were supposed to get from that nation, it'll be on freeze. You're not getting no money from them, but you're still doing business with them, so to speak. Let me see if a way I could think about it. Just pretty much like you're still selling something, but you're not able to. I froze your account to receive the money, but you're still selling the items, so it hurts you. And at times it will hurt the other person you're selling it to, because you might not even decide to sell them anything no more. Or, whatever you're selling or whatever your exchange is, because you're like, I'm not getting the money from it. But the thing is that there's other things being done outside of the petrodollar, hint, hint, cryptocurrency. Also, just the other nations. Everybody's not messing with that, and that's where you get articles and information about people not dealing with the petrodollar, which, has been going on for a while. And just look at Bitcoin. Look at all of these different cryptocurrencies. You think nobody thought smart enough to just, go around it? I mean, Gaddafi was doing that. He got himself killed, but these are not no punk ass nations. Not to say that they were, but they ran through them. They were light work. Right? These is big boys now, and they're not playing. And then you got their partners, all right, that's dealing with it. Such as the partners of America. I'm talking about the European Union. They're actually messing with Russia, because Russia got the connect. All right, who's Russia connect is Bashar al-Assad with the pipeline. That's what they really want over there in the Middle East. All right. And that's what dealing with the oil, and there's just a lot of natural resources over there. So yeah, it says the Biden administration on Thursday announced sweeping new sanctions on Russian interference. Sanctions were imposed on 8 individuals 8 individuals and entities associated with the ongoing repression in Crimea. The White House also denounced Moscow for offering the Taliban bounties for the U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Administration formally blamed Moscow for SolarWinds hack, accused Moscow of still trying to hack American targets. So, I'll let you know, man, he's saying they blamed Moscow for doing it, but there's a lot happening. It's a lot going on. War is happening. It's because you didn't see somebody, if they're hacking accounts or hacking this, that's war. President Joe Biden on Thursday warned Vladimir Putin. All right, I read that. Or could it get worse? They're going to hold a summit between the two leaders in Europe this summer, and brief remarks at the White House, and said there were areas the two nations could work together. But the Lord is really doing this, so even it doesn't matter what they say. Just like with Egypt, Moses came to Pharaoh, and he's like, hey, man, let us go. Most High hardened his heart. This is what's going to happen with Putin. All right, and let me get that. Let's get that. Let's get those precepts. Because this is how the Lord has been moving with these nations. Revelations 17:17, for the Most High, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, have put in their hearts, right? And this is talking about your mind, all right? Denotes the center of all physical and spiritual life. It's talking about your mind. Here you go. Your mind, all right? To fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be fulfilled. Now, this is talking about what the European Union and NATO, all right, being underneath the whore. But the point that I'm getting at here is that the Most High have put these different things in their heart. All right, so there's nothing that they can do, all right, at this point. It doesn't matter what you do in a mountain. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. All right. And the Most High right now has turned their heart, okay, literally into the rivers of the areas of Crimea. All right. For purpose of war, to fulfill his will. All right. Now that's going to happen. Look at the Joe Biden, he's got the emotional face. I don't think I've ever seen this guy, I'm not bigging him up or nothing like that, but I don't think this guy smiles or anything like that. And when I mean smile, I'm not talking about like the like really, I don't even think he has an emotion. This dude, man, is the freaking Terminator, man. He's just, man, the Most High is working. But anyway, man, that's pretty much it through the spirit. Let's look at that. See, Ukraine warns Russia it will suffer if troops cross border. But remember, Ukraine used to be part of that USSR. Now it's separated. What Russia is doing is, let's look at it. Ukraine warned Russia on Thursday that it will suffer if troops try to cross the border, further signaling a tense standoff between the two nations as Russia continues to amass the largest concentration of forces in the region in years. So, that thought, man, the Most High put that thought in their mind, and they're really going for it. Like, you become the USSR again, and they're really going for it. And, they're giving all these warnings, but Russia, it just said that Russia continues to amass the largest concentration of forces in the region of years. Like, everybody's saying stop, but they keep bringing more troops. I'm laughing because it's funny. It's like stop, but more people showing up at your door. You know what I mean? They, you get it. Like, bro, they're not stopping, bro. They fully committed to this. I hope that diplomatic efforts, including this visit, will help us to prevent that from happening. What is this? If Russia crosses the red line, then it will have to suffer. Ukraine Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said Thursday at a press conference with counterparts from Latvia, because this was a part of the USSR, Lithuania, they was a part of it, and Estonia, Bloomberg reported. All right. I hope that diplomatic efforts, including this visit, will help us to prevent that from happening. No, it won't. And eventually will help us to restore territorial integrity. Wow. They're just, the Most High, this is powerful. This is powerful. Kuluba's statements come as tensions between Russia and Ukraine have reached their highest level since 2014, when Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula and large-scale fighting broke out in the country's east. That war has already cost nearly 14,000 lives. Wow, I did not know that in 2014. So they're coming back, and this is a lot bigger than that. Wow. The situation has escalated between the two nations after Russia started sending 10,000 of troops and convoys of tanks to the Ukrainian border. Yo, when you send 10,000 troops to somebody's border, like, I don't think you got that, like, bro, that is a statement. The statement ain't, yo, what you doing. No, the statement will be what you doing if one or two guys showed up. You like, yo, bro, what are you guys doing over here? Or you flew a plane over here, but tens of thousands, bro, with tanks. I think the statement is that, yo, we coming for this shit. Like give it up. It says Russian troops now number 40,000 in Crimea and another 40,000 in regions along the border, which equates to roughly 10% of the country's entire military force. So if 40 and 40 is 80, right? 80,000, and that's 10% of the country's entire military force. That's 10% of who's in the Russian troops have 40,000 from you. Equates to roughly 10% of the country's entire military force. Well, then it will be 800,000, right? Because 80,000, 10%. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just bugging out right now. Anyway, on Tuesday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the move has raised serious concerns in both Ukraine and the West. Right. So, and this is, wow, Queen Esther is, and this is the funny thing about it. They're all the way on the other side of the country. What does this have to do with the U.S.? And this is how you know that this is prophecy. This is how you know that prophecy is being fulfilled, because their movements is threatening a whole nother country. And the reason why it's threatening them is because taking over some of these lands gives them a better position of a shot, of when they fire off those targets, as well. And not only that, that type of aggression only is going to continue to grow, because once they get their first taste of gaining the land, it's on and popping. It's just on and popping. Okay, so we're now seeing the largest concentration of U.S. All right, read that. So you got kind of get the point. It's just good to read this stuff. Gives you up on date. Get in tune what's going on, because at the end of the day, this is gonna affect our lives, all right, as well here, because this is dealing with prophecy, and it's let you know that the Lord, all right, is bringing this thing to an end very soon. And there's gonna be judgment not just here, but for everyone, because this is dictating the angels holding back the winds. Russia has never been a threat to anyone and does not pose a threat. Putin spoke Spokesman Demetrius said, "Oh shit, that's funny, man. That's funny. Them dudes is like, we're not a threat. These niggas got 80. They got 80,000 troops, and they talk about they're not a threat. What type of shit is that? This is funny, man. This is real funny. This is real funny. You know, yo, wow! I can't believe they said that. Russia has never been a threat to anyone that does not pose a threat, but they got 80,000 troops at the border. Plus they got dudes in Crimea at the sea. Yo, that's funny. That's funny right there. A solar winds hack. I don't know what this is about, but you know, it's a lot, man. Russia says U.S. solar wind sanctions could lead to confrontation. So they put them on a solar wind sanction as well. A Russian government official has warned sanctions the U.S. is reportedly set to impose on Moscow, heighten the prospect of confrontation between the nations. It says Moscow first deputy permanent representative to the United Nations, Dmitry Polyansky, made these remarks following reports Russia officials and companies will be hit with punitive measures. These are reportedly due to be implemented to punish the Kremlin for a cybersecurity hack on U.S. government department targeting SolarWinds software and interface in the 2020 U.S. election. Russia has denied being behind these actions. Sources quoted by Bloomberg. So, like, whether they did it or not, they're still hitting them with sanctions. They also said up to 10 Russian officials are expected to be expelled from the United States. Oh yeah, I remember during this time. That was a minute ago. Right? They were supposed to be kicked out the country and stuff. It's building up. You know, more stuff on the build up. Aside from the sanctions on the dealing with the oil and dealing with the Middle East. Remember, they had beef with Russia, overflew a plane, vice versa, went to the territory where the U.S. will control over there in the Middle East. Remember a little while back, I think they shot down the Russian plane, or it was a Turkish plane. But there was problems over there in the Middle East when there was allegedly everybody's getting rid of who was it? It wasn't ISIS. It was another group of individuals, but could have been ISIS, I believe. Anyway, they were fighting off those rebels over there. Allegedly, they were all helping together fighting off rebels over there. But if you overflew your plane into one area, like they had a problem. Anyway, sanctions are also reported in the offing over reports that Moscow offered bounties to Taliban militants to kill U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Wow. So, all right, so you guys see it, man. We see it, man. We see what's happening in the news. See what's going on through the spirit. And with that being said, I'm just gonna end it off, man. Call all Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabbat.